MeTV 24 Meridian proudly presents your favorite way to start the day. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
And good morning and welcome to Scotty Ray and Candace. As it is October the 1st, our very first full week of October.
It is.
Fall is in the air.
It feels pretty good out there this morning. Is it going to get hot again?
70 right now, 81 for a high.
Okay.
One main concern, and let's show this, because if you have not left home or you're getting ready to leave home, serious matter out there with fog all around us.
Yes.
Now, as you go up into these areas here, Louisville, Winston County, that is thick. Let's turn on some locations and just show you and back down how bad things are. Kentucky Fried Chicken is pretty thick there in the Macon, Mississippi area as you go west, Highway 14. Again, this is a 2-lane road all the way over to Louisville. And if you've got to travel that this morning, right past as you go past the Bethel Baptist Church and you reach right here at Crystal Ridge Road, it gets thicker and thicker all the way into Louisville. Look at this. As you get right here into Noxapater, thick fog, even down into portions here of when we get in, and they are under advisory in Neshoba and Kemper counties. The northwest corner of Neshoba County is thicker, but we've got it all around Philadelphia. And this 19, be careful. As you get into Lauderdale, now, again, Lauderdale and Newton counties are not under advisory, but that does not matter. Look at this. When you get to the west side here, starting MCC 8th Street all the way out, I-20, all of these areas, and that southeastern corner here, that's not far from Clark County here. Clark's got a bunch.
Yeah.
So we see it everywhere. Did you get into any coming in?
Yeah, it was a little bit of fog. Like there would be areas where it would be clear, and then all of a sudden it would be foggy again. So just be super careful.
And that's that area right here she's talking about. But the southwest corner of Lauderdale, look at this. All the way down to Hattiesburg, Jackson, Mississippi. And if you haven't driven through Jackson, Mississippi in the last month or so, or maybe a year, the interstate system over there is about nasty. It's rough.
Yeah, we came from Flowood yesterday, and I would hate to be in that kind of traffic and fog. I mean, definitely.
People just don't pay attention. They think where they've got to go is the most important, and they just cut 4 lanes of traffic without looking.
I know. It makes me nervous, like driving. I had my daughter with me on Saturday over there. We had ran to the store down the road from the ball field, and she's like, turn here, just go on, pull out. I'm like, I am not taking any chances. I can't just whip out in traffic. It makes me a nervous wreck. So anyway, but it is a busy place over there for sure.
It is. Let me see here. I'm going to, I think we've got an accident that we needed to bring up. Let me, it'll take me just a second to get to it here. Clark County. Let's see what's going on here. This just came in. Yeah. And,
a school bus, goodness.
Yeah, let's pull this up here. This is Clark County. No injuries, which is great. Currently on the scene of a school bus accident on Highway 511 near Pine Grove Church. No kids were on board. That's even better there.
Yes.
Only the driver who was uninjured.
That is good news.
Yeah, thank heavens.
Bad news.
Yeah, good out of bad.
Yeah.
So serious stuff there. So glad they're okay, everybody there. But
that's scary. And, there are some slick spots still on, in the area, on the roads and stuff. And, like, if the edge of the road, you can run off the edge of the road. It's like mud. I mean. And
fog could have contributed to that. We don't know.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, no kids were injured. And even the bus driver walked away from that.
Thank goodness.
God works miracles sometimes. And luckily, nobody was injured on that one. That is the good news. Over the weekend, how was your weekend? Good?
It was good. We played in a ball tournament all weekend, and we didn't get as much rain as what we thought. It just kind of drizzled, over there.
Yeah.
We were in Flowood, like I said a while ago. So, but it was good. We didn't win, but
I hate
the
that.
boys played hard, and plus they were playing older kids. They're 7U, and they were playing 8U kids. So I think they did good.
This is my allergy queen over here. You've been.
I'm telling you, I told Scotty Ray, I think because my husband told me that my eyes have been itchy, watery, and just all that junk. And you do see all that goldenrod out in the fields and all that stuff blooming.
Right.
And I guess that's what it is. I don't know. But as I get older, I get all these ailments. I'm about tired of it.
And what I told Candace was, well, just wait. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah. This is when you can gain weight without even eating.
You look at a Twinkie
wonderful.
and get a little bit of weight out of it.
Yeah.
Just happens. And I hear other body parts. You're like, your leg will quit working there.
That's wonderful. Something to look forward to.
It is. Nothing like your golden years, is it? Well, not that you're...
Well, I'm 47, and as I get, I don't know, things are just changing. Definitely, my eyesight's getting, worse.
Y'all tell her that she ain't seen nothing yet. Let's see. This happened on Thursday night, and this is still going on. This gentleman has not been captured. And again, innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. But as we go to this, to look at our headlines here, Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department is looking for this gentleman here. Montrell, and I'm going to try to pronounce this correctly, Dontre, maybe? Taylor. Did I get close on that?
I guess that or D'Entre. D'Entre, I don't know.
The Sheriff's Department is looking for him in a suspected stabbing. The lady has passed away from the stabbing at this point. And as you get into this, as the stabbing allegedly happened, and then he ran, let me go up here to this. This is another one, damage to a home. He was driving a car and wrecked. And this is the home, as you look at this. Let me close this so you can see here. And what is fortunate about this, do you see this?
Yes.
The lady that lived in this house, from what I understand, if I read this correctly, had spent the night with her son, so she was not at home. Had she been there, this could have been someone else that was either injured or possibly could have been killed by the car running through her home. So again, a blessing within a bad situation there.
Yes.
Hopefully, and I spoke to...
I hope they can catch him. That was the awful thing that happened. I've heard several people talk about when they mentioned the girl who lost her life, how wonderful of a person that she was, and that just nothing but good things. So,
and I've heard the same thing.
I hate that so bad.
I spoke to Ward Calhoun last night, right around, I don't know, it was 8:30, 9 o'clock last night, and he has not been captured at this point. So the search is still on for him. If you happen to bump into that gentleman somewhere, see someone or something that looks like it, call 911, report it, and they'll send somebody a running. And hopefully this will be stopped before long, because it gives you an uneasy feeling. If it happened once, can it happen again? Yes.
Right.
Now, there's been nothing put out from the police departments that said armed and dangerous or anything, but I would assume...
Well, anytime somebody kills somebody, you need to consider them dangerous. I mean, so, I mean, definitely. I just...
Yeah, that's not someone that you want to approach, and that was loud, wasn't it? That you want to approach if you see somebody like that. Call law enforcement and let them handle that.
Yes.
So... there we go on that. Let's see here some other things that have gone on over the weekend. If the Mississippi Welcome Center is going to be closing, they're going to be doing some repairs. They haven't told us how long that will be, and of course that's out by near Tum Suba. So they're going to be working on that. If you were planning to go have a picnic out there, it's going to be closed. You ever do that?
Yeah. A picnic?
Yeah, out at the Welcome Center.
No, I have not picnicked at the Welcome Center. No.
Just saying. No. But if you've got to go to the restroom and you're trying to make it there, you better hold it a little bit longer.
Yes. You want to say some good mornings?
Yeah, we can do that.
Let's see. Miss Alicia Fisher, good morning to you. And Elmer Talbert, good morning. He's driving his Mack truck, I think is what that says this morning. Bill Reinhardt's in the cab, and he said it's foggy out there today, too.
Right. Angela Dunnigan had sent me a link, and Angela, the link that you sent did not open. I tried to do that, so, and she's got Pray for the Gun Family, so I'm not quite sure what that is, but that would not open up for me to read the story of what was going on with that.
Okay.
Let's see here. Good morning to Larry Smith. We appreciate you watching also. Cliff Garner up and at 'em. Look at there.
Steve and Wanda McKinnon, Miss Wayne and Dolores Roberts, and Larry Smith, Tom Sykes. Good morning to all of y'all. Glad y'all are watching this morning.
Yeah, we'd love to know where you're watching from as well this morning. Clint Eastwood makes the headlines once again, and Clint Eastwood is probably alive, my favorite actor that's left. My favorite actor of all time would be Jimmy Stewart, because the man was just a gentleman among gentlemen. My second one for action hero would have to be Clint Eastwood. He has sued somebody and won in court. I mean, why is Clint suing somebody? It's kind of not his style. Yeah. But if you go and use his picture and fake a interview and put words to it, they were clever. Made it look like he did an interview for a company that sells marijuana, that new, what do you call it?
Well, it's CBD. A lot of times they're selling it for CBD oil, CBD products, and I mean, you can legally sell it. Like store fronts and stuff.
But you can't be using Clint's likeness without him going, it's okay.
Yeah.
He has won $6 million in the lawsuit, and they'll have to pay Clint that.
Yeah. I wonder if he said, go ahead, maybe.
You just can't. Boy, he really had some one-liners that are sayings from movies. Go ahead, punk. All of that, and then I can't remember. Did I shoot 5 or 6 times in all this confusion?
Left turn.
Clyde. And of course, that made Eddie Rabbit, that movie, Every Which Way But Loose. Loved that song.
That orangutan that he had in there, yeah.
And Grandma. I don't know who that lady was that played Grandma in the movie, but boy, she sure was good.
It has been years and years. I was a little girl when that came. I mean,
Yeah.
So
the gentleman that played that played in all those Every Which Way But Loose is, I can't remember his name, but he passed away not long ago. That was always, that lived with Grandma in the house.
Yeah. I had to get up and look that up.
Yeah. Anyway, that I always like me some Clint. That's some of the news this morning that is taking shape. Let's see here. Other things, some local. We may have to go spend a little money together and buy us a lottery ticket. Have you seen what it has grown to?
I did see that, and we had a lottery ticket. Like Kurt bought one. I don't even know if he's checked it. Why he does that, I don't know. But he'll buy one and he'll wait like 2 or 3 days to check it.
The anticipation.
I know. I'd be checking it right off.
670 million. Is it 670 million? Or is it billion?
It's million.
Yeah, $670 million. Yeah. This is what the jackpot is up to. Can you imagine what you could do?
That. I mean, couldn't you?
You and all your friends. But, it's always fun to dream, what if I won?
I know. That would be neat. That's what we always joke and go, oh, what would we do? Would we quit our jobs? I don't know if I'd quit my job. I probably would quit my job and I would start another something new, maybe. Or something.
A new adventure in life.
Yeah,
it's never good to go home and sit and do nothing.
Yeah, I would not want to do that. That would drive me crazy.
But is there a curse to this? If you go and research the people that have won, I'm talking major lotteries, not somebody that won 100,000.
People come out the woodwork, like really to ask you for money and everything.
It ends up ruining their lives of family members becoming drug addicts and just a string of and then instead of buying real property, they'll rent things and they end up winning millions, and then 10 years later they have nothing. Yeah. Not even a place to live.
That I don't understand. I mean, discipline. You got to have discipline, when it comes to stuff like that.
Kyla Moore said it is Jeffrey Lewis is the guy's name from that. Thank you.
All right. No one won. Yeah. No one did win. Let's see. I'm reading.
Okay.
I'm reading things. Bailey Grace says good morning.
Glad she joined us there. Let's talk about the Godwin group. They were in a few weeks ago that came in to visit with us. And if you need something cleaned at your home or your business, whichever the case is, you want it to look clean again? Well, talk to Godwin. They can do that. Again, this is a low pressure system. It won't damage your brick or your awnings, whichever the case is. Like Harry Mayer's here, it looks absolutely gorgeous. I've seen several of those that need that. Brick, or if you've got vinyl, this can be all washed and cleaned and restore the look of your home again. As we go down through metal buildings, shops, how many times have you seen a dirty, dingy building and you think, golly, I know they put it back to the way it looked. Including the roof thing, which we learned a lot about. Shingles can be washed and cleaned. Who would have thought that? You would think with a high pressure hose.
I know. And he was telling us the other day when he was on, he said that they actually had a thing that shoots Scotty Ray was asking, how do you get up on the roof?
Yeah.
And they have a thing that shoots the chemical up on the roof to
40, 50 feet. Yeah, it takes care of it there. There you go. That's the way it'll look there. They've got the latest equipment, fleet wash, and they'll help you out. 253-8262 if you need your home, your brick, anything that you've got cleaned up to make it look new again. Even your sidewalks, your driveways, they can do all of that. Godwin Cleaning Services right here in the Meridian area. Give them a call, 601-253-8262.
I was coming down Highway 19 on a bicycle. I got hit by a car. When I woke up, I was in the hospital. I called Mr. Scorts. He took my case. He was there for me from the beginning to the end. 5-6 months later, I had my settlement.
One call, that's all.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. And we were sitting here. Will Rogers, the MSU quarterback, 408 yards, lived in Meridian years ago. So thanks, Tom, for passing that along.
Yeah.
I like Tom. We're a good fellow there if you ain't never bumped into Tom before. Let's see. At Monday morning, as we get this started, we do hope your day is going well for you. You got your week planned out. Now, there is rain chances today, and let's talk about that just a second because it kind of plans your day of what you got to do. We've got rain in the earlier part of this week, and let's show you this extended forecast of what we've got here. Through Wednesday, you'll probably get some kind of wet. And then if you're going to go camping, we've got sunshine toward the weekend. Camper?
The 15th is when we go. 15th through the 24th.
Woo, you're going to have fun, aren't you?
We're just going to camp locally somewhere. So not far off. I'll be here every day.
But it gives you a little break,
Yeah.
a little different. A lot of people eat that up.
Yeah.
So, that's a few of the things happening there. Let me see here. It seems like we had some other things. Yeah. I want to bring this up. As you look at headlines that happen, and this goes on in any city, town now. This is not condensed to large cities anymore. Constant shootings. And Meridian is, by all means, not left out on this. At any
We hear
time.
about it way too often now, for sure.
After dark, you can hear boom, boom, and you know something has happened. The latest, and let's show you where this map is here of what went on. Right here, Lauderdale County properties. As we look at this, it was Saturday afternoon. Shots were fired into this apartment complex, and bullets went into a car. A child was in the car. No one was hurt, fortunately. But why was there gunfire even happening there? Now, this is Bonita Lakes is where this is. And if you go out 19, like you're going toward Alabama, is where this is located. This is not far. You know, McDonald's sits up here. Sam's is on top of the hill right here. This is right past Bonita Lakes.
I mean, I am so sick of hearing about all this stuff happening because it's just, I mean, I'm glad we're here about it. I don't mean that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, how many people do we know that just go out there and walk and stuff at the lake? And now you have to be aware that something like that might happen. You know, it's just scary. I mean, it's like nowhere is really super safe anymore, you know, from people like this.
No, it's not.
It's just aggravating. Goodness.
So, as bad as it is, the silver lining in that no one was hurt. Now,
Yeah,
are they going to catch somebody? We certainly hope so. Oh,
Yeah, we
have
do.
mercy. We just had a comment about this. As this news broke last night, a driver was found deceased on I-20. This was out by Tum Suba is where this was, and the truck was parked on the side of the road, and the company that he drove for had been looking for him since Friday. Another driver saw the truck, pulled over, and went up to the cab of the truck, and the gentleman was deceased. Now, it's not written in stone or any reports that have been put out, but it almost sounded like it could have been a medical issue that happened. There was
And
no.
if so, I mean, that is an awful thing that happened. I mean, thank goodness he could stop, you know, and that was just awful, though. Awful. I hate that.
More details should come out on this. It's being investigated.
Yeah.
It's bad. Nothing.
So we don't know where he was from. Do we know
No.
where the driver was from? Or
I do
anything?
not.
Okay.
I'm not sure if he was local or if he was out of state or anything like that.
Right.
But I know that a driver from the same company found the truck, and I would assume that was GPS that they found him and went to the truck, and they're investigating. That's
I feel for his family.
ooh, I know.
I had a stepfather that drove for Roadway years ago. You know, he passed away at 41 years old.
Oh, that's young.
They have stress. Like those drivers are stressed. I mean, really, that's a stressful job. I mean, it really is.
And now, they've got so many. To be a truck driver, it is tough. They've got trucks that just shut off now because they've put these limits of the DOT of how far you can go in a day,
Yeah.
To some degree, part of that is for safety. I get that, but they make it tough on a driver.
Yeah.
Really do. And keep those boys in mind. They deliver what's brought to your door in grocery stores every day.
That's right.
And they ain't never at home. That's for sure. Let's see a few other things that's gone on. Oh, Mississippi, this is probably, and I have never been, and I say every year I'm going to go. Cruising the coast is going on.
I've been to that.
You have?
I just rode through, but yeah, we went down there years ago, and you see, it's really neat because I like old cars, you know.
Yeah.
And my favorite is the old trucks, but anyway, but you see all kind of things, like all kind of different cars. I mean, newer cars, you know, antique cars, and it's bumper to bumper.
And if you want to
literally.
buy something, that's probably the place to go find you an antique car is there. I saw several in town yesterday going by on trailers, people hauling them to that.
Yeah. It's a neat thing though. And I think they set up in parking lots too and have the hoods up. You can look at the motors and all that kind of stuff, you know. It's really a neat thing.
So if you're going to that, check it out. You'll enjoy yourself there on the coast. Motel rooms, I think, are non-existent at this point.
Probably so, yeah.
I'm telling you, people start lining up for this year in advance of booking their hotel reservations.
I know when we went years ago, it was like that day, which had been a Saturday. It was Alabama LSU playing. So it was people set up on the side of the road with TVs out, with generators operating the TVs, and everybody was watching the game sitting on the side of the road. It was crazy.
That is.
Yeah, it was. But
You know, as we talk about crime across America, we have seen one of the biggest problems why our country has gotten out of shape is the way voting happens. You get a person that doesn't believe in the same way that you do and the next thing you know, you get a judge that's elected the same way or appointed by people that you put into office. New York City, let's talk about this. If you get arrested for the same crime 3 to 4 times, the odds are you're not probably going to change your ways and they need to do something more harsh to you.
right.
Here's the headline. Brazen thief, 22 years old, shatters New York City's shoplifting record with 46 arrests for retail theft this year alone. And we're not talking any other years. This year, we're 10 months into this year, hitting on Walgreens 23 times in 12 months.
One Walgreens, a
Yeah.
specific. Don't you think I'd have something waiting for him at Walgreens?
Well, you know, and
If he'd hit it 23 times, I mean, my goodness.
And I read what the manager had to say. He said that company policy, all he can do is stand there and watch the guy put the stuff in his pocket, look at him, and walk out the door.
You know what, though? I bet that manager has a friend that don't work at Walgreens.
But he said if I do anything, I'll be fired.
Yeah. Well, hey, I mean, you know, I didn't know anything. I didn't see.
This
I don't
man,
know where that man came from.
this guy's been arrested 57
Goodness,
times
that's
this
crazy.
year.
It's crazy, though. It is crazy how they just get away with whatever. You know, they can just kind of do whatever.
And here is the, let me pull this picture up here.
They need harsher punishments, definitely.
Yeah, this is from the New York Post, which was shared from the cops there. That's him. Yeah, he's robbed that CVS also. 46 times.
You know, they need, I mean, I know this sounds harsh, but you know, in other countries, they'll cut a finger off and steal something.
They're bad in other countries. You don't realize just how good you've got it in the United States.
That's right.
That Sharia law, that's what they do to you. I read every day what that bunch does to you.
Right. No, I'm not all for that, but I'm just saying, I don't know. There needs to be something.
Well, you've got to set examples or you have copycat because they know nothing is going to happen to them at all. You've got to have judges that aren't afraid to use the law. You know, I've always been a big fan of chain gangs. If you do something, you go work off what you done.
Yeah.
But not everybody agrees with me.
This is when, like, people in society, though, in the public start, you know, kicking in and getting sick of it and taking matters in their own hands and stuff like, I mean, and it really, I mean, it's going to take people like standing up, speaking up, and.
But you've seen this
Which is
also
awful,
now.
but-
You say that, but you watch this in these towns and people video.
I don't know. It's more important to get the video of the action going on than it is to help somebody and prevent it.
And
know?
you remember the 2 security guards. A woman was being beat on the street, and they stood there and watched it.
It's crazy. Yeah.
What is the line where America does say, okay, enough is enough. We're not putting up with this anymore. You got to vote, number one. That's where you start on to keep everything on the level of law. You've got to vote and make a change there.
That's right. Wayne Roberts says, I remember the Mississippi Hippie. That was my stepdaddy's handle on the CB. Mississippi Hippie.
I thought y'all had
he was from New Jersey. And so he was a northerner. Yeah.
So did you happen to have a CB handle?
No, I did not. I wasn't on the CB. He was. Yeah.
We'll have to come up with something for you. CBs have just, when I traveled with my company job, I had one in my truck. You would be shocked how little chatter there is on a CB nowadays.
Oh, really?
It is very little. Every now and then somebody says something. I kept it up for traffic because you can't keep up with it any other way. But it is not like it used to be.
Somebody the other day was talking about on CB, they were listening to a CB or something, and I guess people tell jokes over the CB. Maybe some truckers, I don't know, they'll tell jokes and stuff. But yeah, I remember him talking. We got to ride in a truck years when he was working for somebody else. It was like an independent type, a different truck. And we rode with him one time. It was a neat thing. Those trucks are not smooth riders when you ain't got a trailer hooked to them.
Do you remember the movie White Line Fever? Do you remember all of that? And that goes back years ago when you had as in Convoy also, where you had the truckers, the independent drivers and the company drivers. There was a feud as to who gets the load. There was constant fights, and it was a pretty rough time in America when that was all going on.
Goodness.
Serious stuff there. Connie John says her husband is an over-the-road truck driver, 30 years, retiring come December. And what does that remind you of? 18 wheels and a dozen roses.
That is they do have a lack of sleep. It is a stressful job. So I feel for them.
So that's where all that lies. California also making the news this morning. If you haven't heard this yet, there's an oil spill that has happened. 126,000 gallons of pipeline leaked, causing a 13-mile oil slick square in the California birds.
Oh, goodness.
They're working on all this to get all this straight, and they hope that they've got it contained. That's what they're hoping there as you look at the pictures.
That is awful to the wildlife and stuff. I've seen. Do you remember years ago, what was that company that had that big oil spill out in the ocean?
Valdez?
It was something.
Yeah, I know.
All those birds, they were trying to get them cleaned off. And
Dawn dishwashing liquid, they have found out, has been the thing that will just about clean anything.
What is that?
That is a barrier that you dry. You thought it was a snake, didn't you?
At first, I thought it was a snake, and then I thought no, that's not a snake.
It's got a particular name, but it's like a rope mesh and it stops the oil from leaking out. So that's what they're working on there. So
Sleeve gets caught on the armrest.
I had on a pair of shorts yesterday that got hung on a cabinet.
Oh, really?
The handle caught my shorts and it like to rip my shorts off. You try to walk off and it pulled you back.
Look, I had a moment last night. I was sitting on this chair in the kitchen. It was like a tall bar stool, and I had socks on, and I was on like a slick floor.
Yeah.
And when I got up, my feet got out from under me. It was a laugh at myself moment. I thought I was going to hit the floor. It was so funny. Y'all would have had a laugh if you
wish I'd had a video of that one.
It was funny.
Denise said it was the Exxon Valdez.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah, I remember. Okay. Yeah, that was it.
Elmer, driving for 51 years. And what did, let's see here, my father-in-law used to be an over-the-road driver. Let's see here. And then somebody said there was a CB club right up there. It used to be a Meridian. I'm sure there was.
Terry Shelton said my CB handle needs to be Candy Cane.
Candy Cane. Yeah. Candy Cane. That is pretty good one for you.
That would be good.
I was Cannonball. That was my handle for
Cannonball.
Cannonball. I don't know how I got that. It was given to me when I was like 9.
Oh, okay.
How? I don't know.
Was you on like the Cannonball Run? You had that Burt Reynolds. Was you wearing a cowboy hat back then too?
I've done that since I watched Gunsmoke for the first time at 4 years old. had to have me some Matt Dillon in my life. Yeah. That was always my fave there. So anyway, a trip down, but that era of America has faded away. I mean, the Duke boys now would have to use cell phones. There would be nobody on
that would be weird.
It'd be nobody on the hazard net.
Yeah, it wouldn't. Goodness.
That was the height of things back then when it was going on. If you'll remember that.
Yeah, before cell phones, we had to stop and use a payphone if you had to call somebody. I kind of miss those days.
I'm gonna let you go on back and call me and tell me how it is.
I mean, I miss it though, because like my phone won't ring, but let me get in the checkout line at the grocery store and 2 or 3 people are gonna call me, or let me get in the grocery store trying to push a buggy, and that's when everybody decides to call. But anyway, yeah, I miss the days when everything was a little more simpler, you know.
I don't know if I can show this picture because I can't get it up on the big screen. Debbie sent me a picture. She's been camping. You're a big camper too.
What is that?
A squirrel with a piece of pizza.
Look, this happens, y'all. Look, can you see that? See the piece of pizza in the squirrel's mouth?
And she said that happened in Clark County.
I talked to somebody that I know, it's one of my clients, and they camp, and she said that they had been cooking breakfast. Her husband cooked breakfast outside, and said that he come back out and something had busted one of the eggs and sucked all the inside out of the egg and left the shell sitting there. Okay, that was one instance. Then the next night, I think she said that they were cooking steaks, and she left the steaks sitting out on a plate and come back out there, and one of them was missing. A whole steak was missing. Now, I don't know what kind of animal
do that.
was running around through the
maybe a dog.
campground. I don't know.
I know that my yard dog that stays in the studio with us, Sophie, she has got a very unique way of, she can take one piece of anything, and if you're not looking, it's gone.
Really?
She's hiding over the corner going, I don't know what y'all looking at me for.
I was feeding her French fries under the table that time we were at a cookout over here. She was sitting under the table and I was flipping her French fries.
She'll make you feel guilty. You're eating, and all of a sudden this big nose comes up in your lap, and these big blue eyes are staring up at you.
She
going,
lays her little bottom of her face on your leg right there, and like waiting on.
Makes you give up. I'm telling you, make you feel guilty. Woo, boy. As we turn to some things that went on today in history, let's go back to 1927. This was a big day. And if you've ever watched any of the videos on it, it's just truly amazing what can be done. Mm-hmm. The work on Mount Rushmore began on this date.
I would imagine that would have had to have been so hard. I mean, in that big of a scale of something to make it look right. And they did an amazing job.
And of course, it never was finished. There was going to be more to this down in this area below the heads. And same thing with Stone Mountain. They were going to do a little bit more with Stone Mountain. Just truly amazing. Same guy done both.
Yeah.
Over in Tennessee and also there at Mount Rushmore. A few things that happened there. Let's see here. Who remembers this guy? He's having a birthday today. Charlton Heston. Mm-hmm. Of course, he was a big gun advocate and also went on to be in Ben-Hur. That was probably the biggest one that people remember Charlton Heston from. Great actor, though. Done real well. Yeah.
Picture.
1957, way before my time, but the reruns still hit television every day, and people love it as much today as they did then. It was the debut of Leave It to Beaver on this day.
His last name was Mathers. What was his first name?
Oh, yeah, you had to ask me that.
Mathers was his last name, I think. I loved Jerry Mathers. I loved the show. I watched it all the time, and still, if I can catch an episode of it, I'll watch it because it's just so cute. He was just so grown talking, just real.
Did make a boo-boo there and just got corrected. I don't know why I said that. Brian Troy just pointed out I said Tennessee instead of Georgia for Stone Mountain.
Oh.
I don't know why I said that. I know that. So my apologies on that. The big boo-boo on me on that.
Well. Have y'all seen talking about squirrels? He said that his father-in-law, they should watch a squirrel steal pears off of a pear tree. But have you ever seen the video? You need to pull it up if you haven't, of the squirrel eating something, and it must have been fermented, whatever he was eating.
Hadn't seen this.
It's sitting on a little stoop, and he's eating a little bit of it, and he's like swaying because it's making him drunk. It's the funniest
I hadn't
thing.
seen it. It's good?
Yeah, it's some kind of, I don't know what it was sitting there that he was eating, but just like look it up on YouTube, squirrel drunk eating something. But it's like a fermented piece of fruit, I guess, or something that he's sitting there eating. It's the funniest thing. You think he's going to fall off the little thing and he hangs on, It's really funny.
Carrie, did I also make a mistake on saying something about Mount Rushmore? That is in South Dakota. Did I say it wrong? And I could have. I could have messed up that whole segment there. So boo-boo on my part if I did.
Mount Rushmore is in South Dakota.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't think I said where that was, but maybe I did. You never know. I did mess up the Tennessee and Georgia thing. Georgia. Also, who watched the Waltons? Jim Bob has a birthday today. David Harper, and I would have never known his name, but he's celebrating a birthday.
Did he play in anything else after that, I wonder?
If he did, I never saw it. I mean, ever have I seen him play in anything else.
Yeah.
But it is his. Good luck to him. This next lady, I don't know if you remember her name or not, Heidi Newfield. You will remember her from a song called Poor Me, Another. Trick Pony was the group that she was the lead singer in. Hadn't heard
Did they split up and they're not anymore or whatever?
Not that I know of. Now, they may be back on the concert trail, and I don't know it.
Yeah.
But that's the only song that I remember them really from. 1970, you woke up to find today that this lady had passed away, Janis Joplin. Didn't she live hard and die fast?
I don't know. Looks a little wild, though. Yeah.
And I think her lifestyle was a lot that way. She hung out with Bob
Probably
Dylan.
a lot of that going on back then, you know?
She OD'd, from what I understood, and
Goodness.
a lot of those go that way that are in the music industry. Also, this was probably one of the biggest, I'm not sure if I believe that or not, but supposedly on this day in 1978, Tammy was kidnapped. Now, if you go back and read all this, is a bunch that doesn't add up.
Yeah.
And some say that it was, rigged.
Like a stage.
Yeah, and it was never really determined what really happened. She says that she was kidnapped, so people took her word for it, but detectives never could prove that it happened.
I wonder what she would gain.
Put your name back out in the
spotlight.
Yeah. And a lot of people put it on the husband Richie that she had, that he may have staged that whole thing. I don't know. 1988, you woke up and this guy got indicted. Do y'all remember them?
I do.
Tammy Faye and Jim Baker. And what was the young lady's name that hung out with him?
What was the one that caused all the controversy?
Right, that he might have been having a fling with.
I don't remember.
Jessica Hahn.
Yeah.
That's who it was. She went on to do a photo shoot for the magazine Playboy, if I remember right.
Now, he is still in the spotlight now. That
He's out of jail.
He's out of jail. He's got another, doesn't he have another show on?
Think so.
Yeah. He and another lady. So.
And I saw where Pat Robertson is retiring after 51 years of co-hosting what he does, and his son's going to be taking over today in his field. So Jim Baker there. 1990, and I was not a fan of the show. I saw it. My wife loved it, and everybody else in America seemed to watch it except me, but I know it was big. Beverly Hills 9010210 debuted. I said it wrong, didn't I?
901-210.
Yeah.
That's what you said. Yeah. But yeah, I watched it a little bit.
And of course, he was a big one there, and then he went on to do 8 Seconds.
Yeah.
Luke Perry.
And he's passed away. Yeah.
That's a shocker.
That was a shocker when he passed away. Didn't they say they thought he had a stroke or
something
like
to that?
Yeah.
Young. You just don't expect that to happen. And remember this one, just because every time that you go to a ball game or something like, they'll play this on Jumbotron. 1980, another one bites the dust. What's the number one song across America?
Those hairstyles. Not so much the one with the, what they call those,
That?
the tank top thing. Yeah.
I don't know what you call that, but I've seen that hairstyle a lot.
Yeah.
But the 80s, I guess they called them the hair bands back in the day, is what they referred to all those guys as.
Yes.
So I've always liked short hair when it comes to a guy.
Me too. I think short hair is classy looking.
But there's some ladies out there that just really kicks their kicker for long-haired hippie type guys.
Speaking of hair, I'm ready for mine to grow back. I'm just ready.
I wasn't going to point that out. That is your department.
Yeah, it's not ball field hair. I will tell you this. Not in the humidity. You start looking like you just rolled out of the bed in about 10 minutes. No hairbrush.
I hate to say this, but I love it being able to say, I told you so.
Well, anyway.
Do you remember that? We could go back and probably get that beautiful beam footage where I said, don't do it.
I mean, I like it right now, but when I get out in the humidity, it is not a pretty thing. It'll give me about 30 minutes out in the humid air and hot. I need a hat on my head at the ball field, just saying. But anyway.
And Denise just said what those shirts were called, wife beaters. I knew that there was a name for it.
Yeah, I didn't want to say. I didn't want to offend anybody by saying wife beater.
But that's what they've been called the entire time.
Yeah. So I just called it a tank top. But yeah, that's what a lot of people do call them. Mm-hmm.
Pat said that several of those actors from 90210 went on to act in other movies. The bad girl with the dark hair, Shannon Daltrey, I know that she was in a lot of things, and she played that bad girl part very well in other movies as well. It seemed like she may have gotten cancer one time.
She did. And,
she got better, didn't she?
Yeah, she did. But I don't know if it came back. I can't remember. But, she had a kind of troubled life there for a while though.
And that Tori Spelling, what's his name, dog boy, and she
have you seen her lately? Like she had some plastic surgery or something, and she looks like a totally different person.
Does she?
Yeah,
she still got those big eyes.
She don't look anything like she did. I mean, she has had that much work done, and I mean, didn't her and her husband have some type of reality show where they? I think they did, but I can't remember what it was called. But now her dad, Aaron Spelling, he was a big, like, multi-millionaire.
Didn't leave her nothing, did he?
I think it had something to do with the stepmother. There was some friction there between she and her stepmother. I don't know.
Which brings to mind now, and this is highly important. I'm serious, and it would probably be great to have a guest come in one morning and talk about this, about wills, especially, and when I say mixed families, and what I mean by mixed family, if somebody has been married before and you've got children, they've got children. Yeah. It's going to be a fight. It's going to be an argument. Go ahead and put it down on paper and have somebody notarize it.
Right. I don't think it has to be a fight or an argument, but yeah, it is a good thing to
doesn't have to be, but
yeah, if you leave it unsettled, I mean, and there's nothing there to say who gets what or how they want, their wishes or anything. I mean, yeah, it can get heated, I would imagine.
Brothers and sisters, full thick-blooded, or a cousin. I mean, it comes to money. It changes people over arguing of who's going to get what, even down to the last piece of china. So, in that business of putting a sticker on the bottom of it and putting a name, somebody will swap that.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I'm just going to tell you, just from stuff that we've just had to deal with my mother's stuff and my stepdad or whatever. But it's just a good idea to get things. He had his stuff in order as far as a will and stuff, and that was great.
Right.
But like, if you are married and it's good to sit down and say, look, this is how the bills are done. This is how this is done,
Instead of one person doing everything.
Right. Instead of one person. And even if one person does everything, just like, it's a good idea to sit down and show the other, like, this is where I keep this. This is where the passwords are. This is where everything is. And everything's just kind of, you're not left to figure anything out. So that's a good thing. So,
you don't always know who all you owe either.
Yeah, that too. So
I've heard of that happening.
It's just it's a good idea to get things like that situated. A lot of people think just because they have a will, everything's done, and life insurance policy, everything's done. But
no, it goes on beyond that, doesn't it?
Right, it does. It does.
But seriously, we'll get somebody one day to talk about that, because little helpful hints do help.
Yeah,
because
I have a client too that I was asking her. I was like, "Does your husband?" He does all the stuff. I don't know where. And I'm like, "Well, it is a good idea for y'all to sit down, take an hour or so. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't take that long. Just go, have a book with all the passwords in it to anything. Because everything now has a
password.
It has a password. It has a username and a password. I don't care if you pay stuff online.
And it don't matter if you're the spouse. When you call, they go, yeah, your name's not on this. I ain't giving you no information.
Right.
Happens every day.
Right.
Let's talk about the Lauderdale County Farm Supply, exit 151 off the interstate. That's the number to call. And deer season is here, and they are wide open right now, taking care of all the hunters and getting ready. If you need seed, feed, any of this, Rackmaster, Tickamani seed. This is some of the best that you can get now. Don't forget, we've got ryegrass. We've got all this. You can get Marshall, whichever brand you're wanting there. They've got all of that. Rice brand, all your deer attractants. They've got loads of it in stock for you at the Farm Supply, including the Triple Grip, which contains the roasted soybeans, peanuts, and corn. That's great, too. Deer cameras, galores of these, plenty to choose from. They're not going to run out of these. See them along with the more attractants. That's the deer cocaine and all of that. You can step into if you need a pop-up blind, if you need a scale. That's a common thing. Also, as you go through here, Rain will be coming as winter always sets on. If you don't have a good pair of boots, you've worn them and you've duct taped them, they can't be fixed anymore. Go see them. They'll get you a new pair there, no time flat. Flashlights and a whole lot more, including pet supplies. As we get on down the aisle there, we've got everything that you need in the gift shop for what you've got going on, fertilizers, and plenty of corn. See them today with guns, ammunition, the whole 9 yards, all at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply, exit 151.
It happened so fast. I didn't even see that person behind me. I said, well, I need to call Richard Swartz. Once I made that one call, they began working for me. They are going to make sure you get what you deserve.
One call, that's all.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace as we head toward 9 o'clock. Already a quarter till. Where did that go to?
I know, it was flown by, like always.
I know the dense fog advisories will remain around until about 9 a.m. this morning, so keep that in mind. And somebody did talk about Shannon Daltrey there, of her breast cancer.
Mm-hmm. Said that her breast cancer came back in February of 2020, and it was stage 4.
That's serious.
But
there.
I haven't heard anything else about it. You know.
Yeah, we'll check into that. Also, Denise said that Tori looks like Khloe Kardashian.
She does. That's why I couldn't remember who it was that she favored, but she does. She looks totally different. We need to pull it up at some point and show you the difference. I mean, it looks like a totally different person, and it was an improvement, I will say.
I get confused
I
on
say it was, but.
The Kardashians of who is who, even what Bruce Jenner's new name is. And his is Caitlyn.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got Khloe and how many other ones?
Kim, Chloe. What's the other sister's name? I can't remember.
And let me just be honest.
Kim is the mom, I think. They're all K names, aren't they? I think, yeah.
And let me ask this just out of pure, I'm not sure. Did every one of them girls have like a rear end that you can't fit through a door? Isn't that like their claim to fame? I've got the biggest rear end on the block.
I guess. I don't know. They are kind of like.
Huge?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. But
yeah.
But every one of them, not any of them got like a normal.
Yeah, but they do have pants nowadays that have pads in them that make you look like you have a bigger behind.
Okay, you think that's it?
It could be. I don't know.
They call them rear end implants. I think there's another word for it, but I'll use that.
You don't go from looking like you need to eat something like you need a hamburger to looking like
right
that.
Yeah, we're trying to be politically correct with our wording.
I'm wondering if, they might have invested in some padded pants.
You can pad just about anything you want
Rear
these
end
days.
pads. Yeah.
They used to call them the push up brassiere thing. Yeah, that's old news now. You know, I hate to even say this, but I'm just going. They even got men's underwear that is done that way nowadays.
Oh Lord!
Did you know that?
I don't know. No, I didn't.
I'm dead serious to make
Didn't know
them
that.
appear to be.
Yeah. I'm sure they do. They probably got an item of clothing for every. Yeah. It's probably cheaper than plastic surgery. I mean,
But at some point, somebody gonna find out when the gene. You know, I'm just saying.
Oh Lord!
So there you go.
Well,
I'm gonna turn red here in a minute and get embarrassed. There y'all go. Breaking news there. Polls that are out, and I thought I'd share this because it's just not a good idea.
Yeah.
But America very divided right now on our political thinking. You've got, they say 52% of Trump voters and 41% of Joe Biden voters think that the country should split.
I'm sorry, I can't get the last thing.
Did you have a
out
visual?
Of my head. No, I'm just laughing. This Denise Burnside said brassiere. She's laughing at you saying brassiere.
Well, I can't say that other word because it's.
Okay, I'm sorry. Now, get back to the.
Well, hang on. Let's go back because it's always been. I've always been embarrassed to say the shorter term for that. Yeah, because it's like you wouldn't want to say that in front of your mama, and my mama could be watching TV, and I don't want to say that word. It's just one of those things with me. I've never been able to say it.
You know they make a man brassiere.
No, I didn't know that. I did not know that.
I have heard of them. There's a man, like a man bra for men.
You're embarrassing me.
I'm sorry. Well, I mean, I guess just for,
What was the lady that the cross your heart? I guess that is. I never see that anymore. I guess that's gone with the wind also.
I guess so. I don't know. Goodness. Okay, back to Biden.
I'm going to have to calm down here. Because I don't know what to say about that.
I'm sorry I started laughing, but when I looked over and saw her laughing about you saying brazier.
Does anybody use that word anymore?
Brazier?
Is there a
when they're
more-
trying to be funny, I think they
Is there a
probably do.
more politically easy word that I could say that?
It's probably, I mean, I guess that's the actual name.
But no
the
one
item.
uses it, huh?
I guess not.
Is there another word for that item that I can use though?
I don't know.
And there used to be the joke of the
just
the
undergarment.
holder, which I won't say
Over the shoulder. Okay, look.
I'm trying to come up with a word in slingshot. Chad said.
Let's move on.
Well, I'm telling you, I done got backed into a corner over here. I don't know what to say about all
We got our beats on today.
because it's getting deep in it. But all right, back to cup holders.
Yeah.
Terry said. There you go.
Okay, yeah.
But back to the other story there, where you've got 52% of Trump voters and 41% of Biden voters think it would be best that the country split and become two different countries. I mean, the way of thinking in America really we're at a standstill.
Yeah.
But let me explain why I think it's a bad idea. And it's just like what happened the first time we had an argument amongst ourselves. There is no manufacturing in the South whatsoever. None. They ain't nowhere to build anything. As we found out in that first little argument there's fewer people here. Did we have some great people that, yeah, but you can't do this. It just would not be. And as a whole, our nation no longer has manufacturing.
Yeah.
What? Where are we
I
headed?
thought Trump was on a good track trying to get people to open more factories in our own country to, be more self-sufficient. That and like the oil that we have in our country,
Why buy from
But,
somebody else when you got it yourself?
Right. And I think that's one of our main problems is we need to get back to being more self-sufficient as a nation.
But are we to the point to where we can never reunite again? Or have we reached that point?
I don't think we're to that point yet.
Let's hope not.
I think it's a bad situation. Just like, us, getting our medications from other countries and stuff like that. I mean, what's going to happen if you make somebody mad and they go, okay, well, you know what? We're not giving it to you. And then there's people here that their lives depend on this medication. you know?
Right.
So there needs to be more things made in the U.S. And I know we do have some medication, some factories or pharmaceutical
enough.
companies in our own country, but it's not enough.
But you go back to World War I, World War II. What would happen if you're cut off? You no longer have allies anymore, and you can't build stuff overnight. You always be prepared is all I'm saying on that. And that's just it's spooky and scares you there. I mean, somebody said that was language that their grandmother used. Okay, glad I brought some laughter.
My grandmother, she also called her underwear step-ins.
Step-ins?
Step-ins. That's what she said. Make sure you wear clean step-ins when you go out on the road. You never know what's going to
happen.
have a wreck.
They're going to cut them off of you, but
Gosh, my mama she was one of a kind. She got on to me one time for walking heel to toe, like walking with my feet. She thought I should step lightly.
oh.
Yeah,
You
that's
mentioned
how my
this.
mama. That's how she was.
Your step-ins, I've always heard those called, and I'm just going to say, aren't they called like granny panties? Isn't that what they call that?
I guess drawers
Drawers.
in the South.
Anyway,
Oh, goodness.
let's talk about our friends out on Highway 494. And that's going to be Freeman
crazy.
Tractor. That's where you get all your parts for any lawnmower that you've got this morning. They'll help you out there, get you going there if you need lawnmower blades and tune up. And as we get ready after grass season is over, don't forget to drop by and let them take care of you, get you winterized. They can do that. If you're still needing more and there's still some grass out there, X marks, they can get those for you, including, this is one of the best, the Skag. I saw one of these this weekend. Really like them a lot. They'll cut your grass quick. They're easy to use, too. Find out how. Complete line of all your LS tractors from cab and air conditioner to the traditional one that's open. They'll take care of you there. Tillers. Tillers, which really helps your gardens out. If you're going to be planting for deer season, this is like the perfect way to get that soil done up. It's great. You'll enjoy it. Along with disc and bush hogs, all of this here, including if you need a benchy made in Texas, the T-Boss, the 550, the 750. They've got all of these. Go by and see them today. Again, you'll find this there at Freeman Tractor, Highway 494. Call them at 626-8759 is the telephone number to reach them.
I was coming down Highway 19 on a bicycle. I got hit by a car. When I woke up, I was in the hospital. I called Mr. Swartz. He took my case. He was there for me from the beginning to the end. 5-6 months later, I had my settlement.
One call, that's all.
Okay. Across the pond, they call them knickers. We just found out.
Yes.
That's a English term, is it not?
Yeah. Maureen Files from England. Yeah, she says knickers are what we call them.
A lot of terminology. I have to really think hard when I listen to folks from there to determine what they're talking about.
Yeah, they have different sayings for all kind of things, I think. I'm going to have to get with Maureen and write down some of the sayings.
Good news on this. The gentleman that was in the military that got arrested for saying what he thought, telling the leaders of our country that they were doing a bad job. More than $2 million has been raised for Colonel Stuart Schiller. Am I saying his name correct?
I think so. Scheller.
He was jailed, and his family's wanting him out, but $2 million by Americans have been raised for his fund to fight this legal battle that he's in. And he did speak the truth.
And, I had read the other night where he had put his resignation in like a few weeks maybe or a month or so before he even put this statement out there. And so, I don't know.
Then you've got Kelly. Who's this other guy that done the stuff behind Trump's back? I'm drawing blank on his name. Millie. He does that, but absolutely nothing done to him.
Right. So it's crazy. It really is. People can get on there and bash people left and right, but somebody says something against Afghanistan, which was a true statement. I mean, he was just saying, what was going on, what had happened.
Right. And I bring this up. We only got a few minutes left, but I wanted to bring this up. How far is too far when government and also where you work tries to tell you what your family is going to do? Louisiana's largest hospital, Ochsner, is telling their employees today they have until October the 29th that everybody and their spouse has to be vaccinated or they're going to have to pay $200 a month. And they're claiming this is to lower the cost of insurance. It's one thing to force an employee, right? But then to say, all right, everybody in your family has got to do this.
That's crazy. It's a scare tactic. It's just like the Marine that was jailed. It's a scare tactic. They're trying to scare people. In his case, they're trying to say, look, he spoke up and look what happened to him. Keep your mouth shut. So, that's what they're doing. And then with this, it's the same thing. Trying to scare people into it. It's something going on with all this mess. I've said it. And I'm not saying the vaccine doesn't help you at all, but something is going on when they're pushing it this hard.
Now, tell me this. Have you seen anywhere where anything of this substance has reached the Supreme Court yet? Has there been any type ruling, anybody filed anything with the Supreme Court to go, okay, y'all need to decide if they can do this or not?
I don't know. I don't know of any. I know there's people who are filing lawsuits, about being pressured to lose their job or get the vaccine. There's people who have filed lawsuits.
And I'm assuming that it has not reached the Supreme Court to where when there's a ruling on this, that this will, I just don't think that's right. And y'all may think
I don't think it's right either. When you're letting people by the droves come into our country, you're not checking them to see if they're sick. You're not checking them for any other kind of diseases. You're not requiring them to get the vaccine. But yet people who are working and paying taxes in this country to keep the country going, because taxes are what keeps the country. I mean, you're trying to make them lose their jobs. So it's crazy.
We'll watch this when we get some more news on it. We'll tell you. Who remembers Alex Jones? He's a conspiracy theorist who said that the Sandy Hook thing didn't happen. A judge has ruled, and he's guilty, and he's going to be sued for most likely by the families of two of those individuals for everything that he's worth. That's coming. They're going to make an example out of Alex Jones. InfoWars is what he cites. Now, it goes to trial. We'll see what happens next. Ooh, boy. Coming up on the top of the hour, time has flown by this morning. I'm telling you, it's been quick. Let's see some other things that's going on this week. I want to quickly mention that the play at the Meridian Little Theater, Guys and Dolls, will start this week. Let's see. Seems like there was something else that was going to go on.
It is a comedy. It ought to be a good one.
Yeah. Don't forget that also the Bailey Volunteer Fire Department is having their haunted house. It'll kick back off this weekend, and hopefully this week we'll have somebody come in and talk about that.
7 p.m. to midnight.
Yeah, that's it. Thank y'all for coming by and spending a few moments with me and Candace.
Yes.
We'll be back tomorrow morning, bright and early, beginning at, well, what time?
8 a.m.
See you then. Y'all have a great and wonderful day.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by